Okay, boys and girls, bought this nice Rockstar refrigerator, cooler, and it was working for a period of time, and then it just stopped working. And I want to show you some things that I've learned from working on it. Okay, one guy said to make sure you unplug this before you work on anything too, and let it sit. There's a capacitor back there that might be full electricity yet, but just be careful you don't touch the lines together. I got them over there so they're not, and I don't know how to discharge it, but I just be careful not to touch those lines. So anyway, focus. There's a compressor, and it's got 3 prongs on it, and I checked those 3 prongs to make sure the compressor was good. So you just basically put the ohm meter on each one to the other and see if you have any opens using the ohm setting. I did that. I have no opens, so I know the compressor is good. So and then there's a relay that goes on there. I got that off. It takes a little figuring and fluffing and whatnot. And then you have this thing here, which is actually a cutout. Is a cutout switch, so you don't burn up your relay or your compressor. Tested that. It's not open, so it's got some resistance in it too. As far as like resistance you should find on here, I think the bottom one on mine was 13, and the 2 other ones, if you connect them, were around 7 or 8. So got that going on. So then checked all that. Bear with me here while I, what people are telling me on the internet is basically this box here, which is the relay, which is connected. Is this going to focus for me? There we go. I found some information on the internet to check the relay, different connections, different places to check. I got it all apart, and so basically this pops out. You can kind of see where it's burnt there. There's clips like that you have to depress. I broke one, so hopefully it's not a big deal. And if you got down to the end of it, you could probably glue this back on if you really mangled it. But when I was checking everything, these all checked fine, but when I checked the back, I was supposed to have between 3 and 23 ohms. I had over 100. So the resistance was high. And I think that was too high enough that, so what's going on inside here is basically, this is on one side, this is on the other side, like so, and then this guy here is sandwiched in between the 2 inside this case. So it looks to me what happened is that this one is all corroded and brown and black, and then this side was connected to this side just like this inside the box. And if you turn this over, this is all black and brown on this side, which was pressed up against these connections here, which I'm thinking is my whole problem. I cannot find the relay online. You can find some similar, and I've heard people take pieces out of their new one and put it in the old one because the old one apparently is not available anymore. I can't find it on the internet anywhere. So, and I've heard ranges between $40 and $8. So you could possibly do that if you destroy your relay. But if you're careful enough, I think you could probably take it apart and clean it up unless there's something busted. Like this guy, the one guy I saw a video, his disc here was basically busted. This must be some kind of, I don't know what this is, but there is actually a part number on here. You could probably just get that disc. Will it focus for me? And it must be some kind of resistance or something like that. Won't quite focused. Let's see if I can read it. It's A507. The bottom numbers are 1, 2, 3, 7. So A507 1, 3, A507 1, 2, 3, 7. Anyway, I just marked this so I can put this back in the correct way, but so basically this goes back on top of here. Well, you put these in first, and then you push this down inside of here. You can kind of see it's brown inside there too. Must have got hot or something. So for right now, I can check back with me later to see how it's going, but I'm gonna clean this up, put it back together, and see if it starts cooling my beer. So if not, I'll take the video down, obviously. Well, maybe it might help somebody if you do it, but yeah, just have a nice ohm meter like that. That's a Blue Point. I've had it for 20 years. You buy a good one, it'll last you forever. I mean, obviously you can see some wear on the points. This one here busted off completely. But still works. Just a matter of replacing the end and stuff. But so yeah, this is the relay. And I hope this helps somebody out so they don't have to spend $40 or $50. But if you can just get this, if your disc is busted, like if it's rattling inside, if your disc is busted, you might have to just get I would just probably I think what probably you have to watch out for is probably the ohms. I've seen like this one here, if you read on the back, let's see if it'll focus. There we go. Let's see if it'll focus on that now. There we go. There we go. So if you go online, you can find a lot of 3012-5 amp, but nobody has the exact same setup as I have here. A lot of them don't have this little lip. I don't really need that lip. I have no idea what that does, but a lot of them don't have this piece on top, which is where your where that little black disc I showed you before fits on top of there with a clip. It clips on the top of the compressor, on that third point on top of the compressor. So yeah, you can find that part number, but nobody has this style box for it. So I would say make sure you get, I'm thinking that this disc, I didn't check this part number online, but I'm thinking this disc is 5 amps. And or maybe 5 ohms, maybe 5 amps, could be 5 ohms or whatever, but I'm thinking this part number here is probably going to tell you what ohms of resistance you have to have, because I think if you have too low a resistance, it's not going to be enough to stay your compressor on long enough, and if it's too high a resistance, you're probably going to burn out your compressor. So I would say the ohms is probably the most important, or amps, one of the two. But I wouldn't, if you got a 4.7, I think you'd be okay, but I wouldn't put a 7 amp in there. But yeah, not an electrician on any means, but I can tell you, if you get it close or less, you should be safe. Alright, thanks for watching. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. I'm going to see if I can edit this video. Check out my other videos. Hopefully it'll help you in the future. Bye.